The Angels 2014. The Angels world champions. Oh, and first pitch crushing.
Hey, welcome into another episode of Halos in the Infield, the podcast. It is Angels Baseball, it is Todd Fox, and it is also...
Howdy, this is Fernando, a.k.a. the Lone Star Halo.
It sure is. The Texas two-step is back. Fernando's back with Todd Fox's. I've been away for a couple days, a lot of family stuff going on, but we're going to talk some Angels baseball. We're going to talk maybe some Ohtani, because I think that guy is going to come up on a few subjects and comments and conversations as we go along in this podcast. If you can, though, give us a like and subscribe to our podcast wherever you may listen to it. Also, if you check out the YouTube page, like and subscribe to that too. Leave comments. We always respond. And if we're doing anything right, let us know. If we're doing anything wrong, let us know. But with that being said, Fernando, how do you want to start this show off today? What's the first topic on the agenda?
Actually, if you don't like our podcast, we're called the All Angels Podcast.
All right.
Just in case you don't like it. Leave all negative reviews over there. I'm just kidding.
All Angels.
Yeah, right.
So
there's not much to talk about, brother. What do you want to talk about first? The loss, or a win, and then a loss?
Well, you forget something. we are chasing something right now. We're chasing something very good right here. We're not. I wouldn't say very good, but we've gone from first, and there's a possibility that we're chasing Oakland. Oakland's starting to win. We could be last after being in first place for 44 games. So let me ask you that. Do you think that's possible?
I don't know if we'll be in last, but we'll flirt with it for sure. I mean, any hope of anything this season, let's just stop. Let's just stop that now. I don't want to hear about this third walk. And if that's the case, if I am wrong, I'll figure out something crazy to do. Maybe it's get a tattoo or something. And here's the thing. I don't want anybody, and I'm tired of the people who think that we're just like fair weather fans. Yeah. I don't know if you ever kind of get those comments or you get the people. I mean, I'm mostly the one who interacts on the Twitter. So it's both people just thinking that we're haters.
Yeah, pretty much.
Todd, would you consider yourself a hater?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. And here's the biggest reason that you can tell we're not haters. Because we're here week in, week out. We talk about the same thing. And I'm not even talking about this year. I'm going back to last year when we started the page. It's the same thing, the same conversation. The Angels lose. Here's why they lost. But yeah.
Yeah, because if we were, when we were, all you had to do is go back and watch what happens when we were 27-17. I'm going to keep bringing that up because that was a milestone for this season. Unlike last season, like you said, we had to focus on a lot of negativity because of the losing, the injuries. This season, you had a taste of what could be. So we were sitting there saying, hey, man, how many games are we going to win? And even with you tried to go as negative as you possibly could, only to show the honks out there that, hey, it could happen that we could lose. And you went out there and you said, we're most likely going to hit a struggling spot. We got to be ready to bounce back from that. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to slump a bit, but we'll get going. But that's, it's usual baseball. You were being as fair as you possibly could. And so you were being called a hater back then. It's like, how can he be called a hater? He's being a realist. And so I was being the honk. And so we were going back and forth. But the way it worked out, I think it worked out a little too much because, you called it, but it just has continued. So this season, as frustrating last season was, this season is just off the charts for me because the expectations and then the fact that we've just continued to lose. There's been no turnaround at all. And it seems like the recent way to fix things supposedly is to bring up all these guys who've been DFA'd by other teams, or hell, hey, if you were on the team from last year, we're bringing you back. The goose is loose again,
Yeah.
Like that. I don't get it, bro.
Here's the thing. So the Angels over the last 9-ish years.
Right.
No, not even. I won't give them like 2014.
Yeah.
But starting in like 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So the last like 7 seasons, they've really gotten into this habit of, oh, we'll just pluck this guy out of the bargain bin. This guy was DFA'd. We'll grab him. We'll trade for this guy for cash considerations. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of been the Angel way.
Mm-hmm.
And, I thought this offseason was a little different. Silly me. I gave Perry some credit, right? We all did.
Yeah.
It's in the episodes. It's there. The library is there. If you want to hear Halos in the Infield being positive, go back to the first like 6 episodes, probably the first 12 episodes, because we do about 2 a week.
Yeah.
And it was all positive. We were on our knees blowing Artie. We were like, oh, Mr. Artie Moreno, woohoo. Because at the time, Artie, Perry, like it was making sense. Hey, Artie spent the right money this year. We got the bullpen arms. It's working out. Hooray.
Mm-hmm.
And, like you said, I knew we were going to hit a snag. I mean, what team doesn't?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, say what you want about hating the Dodgers and the Astros. We hate both of those teams. But the Dodgers hit a snag almost every year in September.
Yeah.
The Astros never really hit a snag. They kind of always just lose and then win, but they don't hit these long losing streaks.
Yeah, I mean they could kind of like bear with it if they have problems. Both teams have, the Astros did have a skid there early, but not that bad, like you said. The Dodgers have had a little skid here and there. Their offense isn't that great. It's whether what they do in the postseason is more of the question. I think if we had 8 more wild card spots, we could possibly qualify this year. But for us, man, it's just been a downhill spiral that this team can't get out of. It's still the whole same, and it's not a change of where, well, hey, they played really good tonight, they just fell short. It's the same, well, they pitched good, but they can't score no matter what. Like they gave up 4 runs later in the game and they were only down 1-0, but again, you didn't score. So this team has been so inept. I haven't looked to see where they are as far as runs produced this year, because they were near the top during the beginning of the season. But in a 162 game season, so many things can happen, and we've seen other teams get out of it. We've seen the Mariners, like they were worse than we were. All of a sudden, they win 14 games before the All-Star break, and they look like they're going to make the postseason. And I think they haven't won since. So you have all kinds of storylines. Baseball's a funny game, but with us, it's just this has been such a disappointment. How can we be anywhere positive when you look at the farm system's 29th ranked? You bring up Odell, he can't hit. We got 4A guys, but we can bring up pitchers and they do good, but we can't hit.
The Angels are currently 13th in the American League and have scored 375 runs. Do you want to guess who the only other 2 teams worse than them are?
I would have to say Oakland's 1, correct?
Correct.
And 2 would probably be Texas?
Detroit.
Wow, okay.
Texas is actually 6th in the American League. They're at 431. So we're at 375 and they're at 431.
Bro, didn't we have number 1 rank early in the year?
Yeah, it doesn't tell me that, but I mean, we must have at least been high up there.
Yeah.
Top 3, I would definitely say New York is currently leading at like 520. That's just not fair. Like the next closest teams are 468. So I mean, they're just way ahead there.
Let me guess, a lot of those teams that are up there towards the top 5 or at least top 8, are playoff contending teams, correct?
Absolutely. Hey, but don't worry. We're still almost top 5 in home runs because you know what? Chicks dig the long ball.
They sure do. And you know what they can't get enough of? Solo blasts.
Yeah, and losing. Do you notice the correlation there? Losing. Solo blast. Han Solo losing.
Yeah. That's
Han Solo killed by his own son. Yeah.
Well, it's like my dad said. He's like, boy, they score 4 runs and we respond with a solo home run.
Yeah, there you go.
That's how it is.
Let me see. 1 versus 4. Carry the 1. That's right. we're not going to win.
Yeah, it's funny because I put in the message the other day when you guys were like, "Oh, he had a home run, Otani." I think they lost 8-2.
Yeah,
And my dad actually said that. He's like, "Boy, we just need 6 more of those, and we'll be in this game."
yeah, exactly.
They
Yeah.
can't. I've never seen a team not be able to manufacture any runs. Like that's just the weirdest thing, bro.
Well, especially because they went from such a powerful offense to just absolute dog doo-doo.
Yeah,
No in between. It was, 100 to a 0 immediately. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ran out of gas. Somebody cut the gas cords, gas line. It's just nothing.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, since we're talking about just historic ineptitude, if that's even a word, I don't know. I'm just waking up.
Dr. Seuss, Dr. Todd.
Yeah, there you go. What do you do moving forward, Fernando? Let me ask you this. Put your GM hat on right now as it's constructed. You're taking over Perry's job right now. Obviously, this season's lost. What do you do from this moment in this particular season moving forward?
Well, here's the thing. I've always been very built from the bottom up.
Okay.
I don't believe in, the trickle down of let's get a bunch of superstars and the talent will kind of bleed down. The superstars will teach the young guys how to play. And that's a legitimate thing that people believe, right?
Yep.
Oh, don't worry. And it did work, right? We signed Albert Pujols and he mentored all the young cats. That's exactly what happened, right?
Oh, yeah, that happened.
That's exactly what happened. Just ask Riley Chris. He would agree.
Oh, yeah. It's his birthday tomorrow.
No, it's his birthday today when this comes out.
Oh, okay. Got
Happy
it.
birthday, Chris. There you go.
There you go.
You got your birthday shout out. So, but what I'm saying here is, this whole idea of, well, let's just get all these stars or let's get 1 or 2 stars and they'll, mentor the young guys. I don't believe that works. You truly got to build from within. So with that being said, I'm not going to say a full rebuild. The Anaheim Angels will never do a full rebuild. It just won't happen.
Mhm.
That's not what ownership wants. Taylor Blake Ward said the exact same thing when he came on. I think all of us realistically know Artie Moreno would never tear it down.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, you got to figure out the pieces that are easy to ship off. Noah Syndergaard, you can get a little bit of a return for that. I understand, today he pitched pretty well.
Yeah, he's pitched really well, actually. Just no run support.
Yeah, well, story of everyone's life, right?
Yeah.
Just as Patrick Sandoval.
Yep.
I'm sure there's some bullpen pieces out there. Like Quijada can probably get traded.
Would you entertain Iglesias?
I would entertain Iglesias, but I mean, who wants a guy with a 4.50 ERA right now?
Yeah, well, he hasn't had any time to be consistent at all. So I'll be the honk right there. I'll give him an excuse. But okay, I heard the other day too that the Angels came out a week ago and said, "Hey, you know what? We're not even thinking about an Otani trade yet." There's sources, quote unquote, that said, "Oh well, if the Angels get major league caliber players in return." But then again, that kind of swipes away the trade because if you're trying to gain players or gain Otani, you're going to try to add him to the stars or players you already have. You can't really give up major league caliber players unless you involve a third team, maybe even a fourth. So I don't see Otani leaving. What do you think about that?
I really don't either. But I mean, I'm not going to say that I would 100% be open to Otani trades. But here's the difference. If I'm Perry or if I'm, the GM myself, I'm going to field some phone calls. Okay. I'm okay with trading Otani for the right piece. If someone's like, I'll give you Otani for Juan Soto straight up. I'm not making that trade.
Yeah.
I need some pieces that are going to help us for the next 2 or 3 years. Here's the thing. If the Angels keep Otani and Otani does not stay, our window's closing next year. Yeah. Next year is your last legitimate chance for at least a couple of years. Why? Because Trout is starting to regress. I hate to say it, but it's probably already starting. We've seen him have, 2 of the worst stretches of his career this year at individual times. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's currently batting like what, 270?
260.
Yeah, and this is Mike Trout, the most talented. Okay, well, the most consistent baseball player on the planet. I don't want to say the most talented, because let's face it, doesn't get much more talent than Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
But
And his
go ahead.
strikeouts are way up. Way up.
Yeah, absolutely. He's batting 270 exactly. Yeah, right on the dot.
Oh, okay, 270.
Yeah.
And he's doing his day-to-day, I'm out for 2 weeks, again, like he did last year. So with him in the lineup, the Angels haven't been improved. I mean, like you said, I don't think you could put any better. You have basically, if they were to pay Ohtani, let's just say they re-up him for $400 million, and they have him, they have, Rendon, you can't trade. Trout, you can't trade. I mean, that's 35% at least of your payroll going to 3 players. And like you said, that is not winning baseball trickling down with just the 3 stars at top. No one of those 3 wants to be the leader at all or has the shred of leadership qualities. And to me, in a perfect world, bro, this is just how I feel about it. I would try to get a king's ransom for Ohtani. I would try to do the same thing for Trout. I would throw in Rendon if I could, if he was eligible to be traded, and just start over, man. Start the freak over. And you said it there. Artie doesn't want to do it. The organizations come out and said they don't want to do it. But I would like a very hard reset and keep all them pitching prospects you possibly can together and just rebuild the goddamn lineup, dude. And offer free agents the opportunity to come in here and be like, hey, you want to be the leader on this team? This is your team. Take it by the balls and run with it. You know what I mean?
So let me get this straight. You want to trade Trout and Ohtani?
I would, yes, because
Ooh,
to me, I'm gonna get hate for that, but I love
Trout. Absolutely. We're already getting unsubscribers.
Look, I love Trout, but dude, again, I don't see us winning anything with him. And for me, I love Trout as a player. If he went to the Phillies, win a World Series, go for it. Have fun. Go somewhere else except L.A., and you're fine with me. I don't care where the hell you go.
Yeah, anybody but the Dodgers, and I'd even say the Yankees.
Yeah. I mean,
I hate the Red Sox, but I can live with that. I can live with him winning with the Red Sox.
Yeah, I couldn't. For me, I could even live with him winning one with the Yankees. I just don't want him anywhere close to the Dodgers. I don't want Ohtani there. If Ohtani wants to win in San Diego, fine. So be it.
But if Ohtani wins with San Diego, I mean, sure. I mean, my dad's a big Padre fan. I have friends that are Padre fans. I mean, I would probably still get an Ohtani Padres jersey.
I would too.
I mean, hey, you know what I mean? I'm from San Diego.
He would
live there for 20 years.
He would look sick in that the pinstripe road one. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he would still look weird though in like the new Mexican Bay City Connect jerseys.
Or the military one.
Yeah. Here comes a flat out Japanese man wearing.
But would you imagine the media coverage that the Padres would get with Darvish and Ohtani on that same team?
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that'd be big time for the Padres for sure.
There would be. And you know what? And real quick, Vince, he messaged me today. He was telling me about he was watching Channel 4, and Channel 4 was saying what's wrong with the Angels, and they were like, yeah, if they lose Ohtani, they're going to lose their fan base. They're going to lose everything. I think we'll lose a good majority of the bandwagoners, but we'll still have the hardcores that are there because there's a lot of fans like me and you that root for the name on the front, not the back.
There we go. Yeah, I feel you. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
I will cheer for Ohtani almost anywhere he goes.
Yep.
With the exception of LA, I would still cheer for him. I wouldn't want him to win a ring with the Yankees, but I would still cheer for him.
Yeah.
And honestly, even as a Yankee, I wouldn't hate him.
Yeah.
Or as a Dodger, sorry, I wouldn't hate him.
I agree. I mean, it's just one of those things where, you hate to see your guys leave. You hate to see something that could have been. We've watched, unfortunately, Angels baseball players end their careers other places. We've even seen guys in their prime leave, Napoli, and doing things other places, Lackey, Frankie Rodriguez. The list can go on. but this game's a business in the same sense, and for us to get better, again, it sounds sacrilegious. Oh, trade Trout, trade Ohtani. It's not what we'd want to do. I mean, best case scenario, as fans, we love these guys. And I still do too. But the problem is, man, if it's hindering us losing, I'd rather know that we're rebuilding for something better or having a better chance, or to, like you've said in the past, let's, if this window's got to close, let's work on reopening one, and getting better to one. And I think that with the organization the way it is, it needs help.
Okay, so I mean, let's say here's what's going to happen: the Angels will not trade Ohtani.
Mhm.
Should they? Sure, that's a conversation we're having now, and we both agree. Realistically, it's time. Not because we want it. That's the last thing either of us want. I would love to see Ohtani in an Angels jersey for the rest of his career.
Mhm.
But as was said last week by Swilly, I don't know if you heard the episode.
Yes.
I know you've been really busy. She had said this organization will never win a World Series with Trout, Ohtani, and Rendon on the roster. And I could not agree more. It is absolutely true. And the reason for that is because you don't have any middle guys. You need consistent guys to get on base. You cannot win with one guy or even two guys producing all of your runs. And that's what it has been. I'm tired of this excuse of, well, this Angels team is better with Rendon on the field. Are they? Are they? Is their record with Rendon on the field a little bit better? Sure, maybe. But we're talking about what? 100 games?
Yeah, there's not much of a sample size.
Yeah, Rendon's played as many games in 3 seasons as Pujols played in his first season as an Angel. So I hate this BS. Rendon is Pujols 2.0, and I hate to call out somebody who is mildly involved with this, but I know VT does it all the time, and I'm just like, bro, Pujols is not Rendon. I will 100% agree that Pujols underperformed almost his entire contract year, complete waste of money.
Mm-hmm.
But Pujols was on the field.
Yeah.
I don't think Pujols missed more than 50 games here. I think it was 19 when he got shut down a little early.
Yeah. And
was it like a knee surgery or something?
It was something like that, or no, it was
foot surgery.
The foot surgery was a plantar fasciitis.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but yeah, I feel you. He had a couple good seasons there early on. Like really good seasons where it was kind of shades of St. Louis. It wasn't St. Louis baseball, but it was.
You could live with it.
Yeah, you could live with it, and you were like, okay, he's kind of justifying the contract.
Yes.
But yeah, we haven't even seen that yet from Rendon. And this was supposed to be the revenge year, and that didn't happen. So we're looking at year 4, and then again you're looking. There's so much in flux, like you're saying. Trout's starting to regress, and a lot of Angel fans are like, no, he's not regressing. He's not regressing. But you can't argue that this is a 3rd year in a row that he's had significant injuries or that his production's gone down. And at first you're like, well, he was hitting before he got hurt as far as like home runs and stuff. But again, he was Han Solo. Nobody's on base. And it feels to me with these 3 superstars on the team, it's sort of like the Lakers when they used, because basketball is different. Obviously, you can win with a couple players, but when you had Kobe and Shaq on the floor, I'd say about 70 to 80% of the game, the other players stood around and waited for them to do something. And it seems like, even though baseball's a totally different game, it seems like our team, especially the bottom of the order, just sits around and is like, well, we don't really have to produce. We got a really good start of the lineup with, Ward, Rendon, Ohtani, Trout, and Walsh. And then
take Walsh's name out of there right now.
Oh my God, that guy, him and Marsh, my God, have they sucked this year?
Yeah.
Just historic strikeouts, bro. It's just see.
It's okay. It's okay. Our hitting coaches will work on it.
Like, bro, I love Goopy. He's the most optimistic guy out there. I love him. I mean, and I know he's frustrated, but I really, really wanted to be like, oh, BS when he was saying, oh, I watch these guys. I'm there 4 hours before the game, and they're working hard with the instructors. I'm like, bro, if that were the case, we would have seen some results by now.
At least from on some ends, right?
Yeah.
We're not seeing anything really.
Yep.
It's the same thing, the same song and dance. They'll win a game, they'll lose 6. They'll win a game, they'll lose 6. Oh, Tony started. Oh, he had a good start. Well, we won 2 games this week. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like I'm tired of sitting around and being like, oh, hey, oh, well, this series is coming up, and oh, but we have a chance. Guys, the season is over. Throw a fork in.
Yeah. We need to come up with
A plan.
yeah, shout out. Well, yeah, we need to come out with a plan, but shout out to Randy though. He needs to come up with a graphic of the angel logo with a fork in it, because I mean
It's over, man.
it's been over. I mean, god damn, it's so frustrating, man. That the fact that this team can just flatline, and we can see it. I had someone message me too, that Hector, he came out there and he said, you remember when we played the softball game and we were losing big time to the other team? He said, what did we do? We stopped trying to swing for the fences. We choked up and we went for hits. He goes, how hard is that?
Well, clearly hard, man. They would be doing it.
Exactly.
I mean, and what are we supposed to, as fans, do now, right? I mean, we're getting frowned upon for, we've had a couple people, be like, oh, well, the paper bags are a little drastic, aren't they? Perhaps in the grand scheme of things, maybe. I mean, Randy's a Jets fan, doesn't get much more paper bag than that. And I mean, Randy's, hey, I'll give their credit, some credit to their quarterback, though. Talk about a perro. Talk about a pure dog, man. That's what we need right now in our locker room.
We absolutely, bro. I mean, who is the leader on our team? Do we have one again or no?
I don't think there's anybody who's sleeping with their best friend's mom or their mom's best friend. So I don't think we have that. And here's the thing, jokes aside, like last season, what were we doing? You were thinking of things that the team should do to spark up something, right?
Yeah.
Like last year, we were getting frustrated because we kept getting to 500 and then we, fell out. 500 and then we fell out. Actually, I was looking at some posts from the, it was on my Snapchat from the tailgate last year. The tailgate last year was it in August or September?
August.
And we were talking about last year about, oh, don't worry, we're going to get to 500 again. We've done it like whatever, 20-something times, whatever it had been at that point. Think about how much farther behind we are right now than we were last year. And arguably, we have a more talented team right now than we did last year. I get it. Injuries, blah, 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 blah. The bullpen this year is way better than it was last year. And it's not even close.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's the thing that just, it blows you away. Like it felt like, if you were to look at last year, I mean, it was 36 times we went from 500 and back or 500 and up. And, at the end, they kind of like ran out of steam in September. But you could be okay with that because you had an excuse. The pitching wasn't that good, but you had a bunch. Like you said, the talent wasn't there hitting. We had no Trout. We just had Ohtani, no Rendon. I don't even think we had Upton. We just had a bunch of guys at the end that were just whatever. And just call-ups, and the team tried, and they scored runs, and so we were in games, so it wasn't that bad. And this year, just the last couple months, you're just like, can we just forfeit already? Like, because to be honest, I'm tired of seeing it. Like tonight's game, I mean, was a carbon copy of like about the last 3 months. Is you have a good pitching performance, you maybe give up 1 run, you're facing Zach Greinke, who's 4 years over the hill. And freaking, he looks like he did when he was 29, dominating you with Kansas City, and they add on runs late, and then you lose by a touchdown. You don't even muster a run.
It's sad because it was like the 5th, 6th inning. I was watching the game, and then I had to go do some stuff, clean up around the house before we started recording. So I turned the game off for 5-10 minutes, and all of a sudden I get a tweet, and it's from I don't know, Sam Blum. and it was like the Angels are currently losing 7-0, and I'm like, what? It's been like 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and it's crazy how quickly like it just turns around on us, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of going to take a shit and take a shower, and coming back, and next thing you know, we're getting our cheeks clapped, and I'm like, dude, it's been 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Why is it always such a steep drop off the cliff for us?
Yeah, I mean the game gets pushed. I mean we've seen it do that. I mean they, like you said, we'll be right there, and then it gets, they'll make an error or two, something weird will happen. Adele will drop a ball. There's just all kinds of stuff that happens. We're not even doing the consistent things that we were doing earlier in the year or last year. Like Suzuki's not even throwing the ball in the center field anymore. That was a staple of his. And then we keep trotting. No matter who we bring up, an infielder, a prospect, we sign a guy. It's like, now we're gonna put Squid back in the lineup. What the fuck, dude?
Squid. Let's bring in Squid.
I thought Nevin was given the okay to take him out. And to be honest with you, I unfortunately called that VR thing. When I went off on the rant the other day in the post game last week, I'm like, watch, dude, VR hit his first home run. Now we're going to DFA him. And that's what we did. And so how the fuck can you hold on? Like, I'd rather see VR go out there and struggle and then freaking Squid, who doesn't even look like he tries half the time. Like the hit he got the other day was on accident.
I'm mad that you didn't give VR the nacho night that night.
I know, right? No, I think we've come up with a new award, and that's who gives a fuck award. That's when you hit a solo blast when you lose like 8-1, 7-2, something like.
It should be the Han Solo award, Han Solo of the game.
There you go.
We can just edit, their face on a Han Solo's body.
Dude, that's a great idea, actually.
Yeah. Today's Han Solo of the game.
The useless Han Solo.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, this team is terrible, bro. I mean,
yeah, you know how you watch like a basketball game or something. They're like, oh, today's Mobile One dunk of the game or whatever. Like, oh, today's Sprite 3-pointer of the game.
Yeah.
Today's Han Solo sponsored by Lucasfilm is Mike Trout. Mike Trout, you won it for the 15th day in a row. Good job. Brandon Marsh, two-peat.
Yeah. No, at the end it should have like Artie Moreno's face, but with like what is it called, the black hoodie. I know Steve Lee is gonna kill me for not knowing that dude's name. He's for the dark side. He could be like, excellent.
Darth Sidious?
I don't know who's the one that wears the pale white face, and he's always
all the wrinkles.
Yeah, and he talks to what is it called?
Darth Vader.
There you go. See?
Yeah, Darth Sidious.
Oh, there you go. Dark Sidious then. See?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of like things that like I like that are quote unquote nerdy. But
Okay.
I mean, I guess Star Wars is a thing. Like I've never watched the Harry Potter movie. I've never watched Lord of the Rings. I hate Marvel. I hate DC. I don't like superhero movies. So literally and honestly, like I like Star Wars because my dad loves it.
Mm-hmm.
Like my dad watches the movies every time they come on Spike TV, which is like every other hour. Oh well, this one's over. Time to go to the next one. I'm like, how do you guys watch like 50? You guys watching everything on like Spike all the time. I don't know how they do it. Nothing but Star Wars all the time.
He's like, I really wish I could watch some Star Wars, and you just put on Spike. There it is, 3 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. But they do it like 3 p.m. There it is.
Yeah. Well,
I would understand at 3 a.m, but no.
I'm like that too, though. Like I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy. I'm not a Harry Potter guy. Definitely not a Star Trek guy. But I do like Star Wars, and I like a little bit of Marvel. But I've been really and Batman only for that's it. Like it's like Batman, Spider-Man, and a little bit of Marvel. But they've been doing too many goddamn movies, so it's kind of like burnt me out towards superhero movies.
Yeah, that's why I don't like superhero movies.
Yeah, they make too many of them, and there's only so many times you can save the world, in my opinion. But
hey, Fast and the Furious is still going strong.
Oh yeah,
they've saved the world multiple times.
My favorite is them. Wasn't that one movie where they're jumping from skyscraper to skyscraper in the cars? I'm like, okay, that's a little much, or they're on the anyway.
Yeah, no, I just started rewatching all the movies on the airplanes because I'm on airplanes so much. So I think I'm up to like movie 4 of the rewatch. So yeah. Anyway, there you go. That's your movie update. Normally we keep it strictly baseball, but as of right now, what are we here talking about, guys? I mean,
would you rather talk like for me? Not Lord of the Rings. What's the other one? God, Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones, and I'm waiting for that reboot to start.
never seen it.
I rather well check it out. It's a good series. Like if you like role playing games, it's like a real life role playing game. Anyway,
I don't. I just have normal sex.
gotcha. You mean dressed like a cop?
I don't know. In today's political climate, that might not be appropriate. Yeah, right. I don't know. I'm afraid that if we do role play, like we'll both want to be like the pizza person. It's just not.
No, I'm delivering.
No, I'm delivering. No. You delivered last time.
Do you want extra sauce for those wings?
Yeah. Oh god. That was a little too forceful. Todd's a little too good at this. Todd's a little too, yeah. I don't want to know.
This is what happens, bro, when we can't generate walks, we can't get singles or doubles. We start talking about role playing.
Angels, I need you to win. I love Todd like a brother, but I'm not interested in his sex life. This is my plea. Perry, you know what? Forget tearing it down. We need to build it up.
Yeah.
We need to get there. So trade everything possible because we need to contend. Because I can't handle Todd talking about sex again.
Yes, we're next week's show. We're gonna get into all our past role playing situations.
Please, for the love of God, for the love of God, no.
The question of the day is: do you indulge in candle play or no candles?
Yeah, there you go. We're not even gonna ask baseball questions anymore.
Dude, I'm telling you, like when I go to, I think I'm gonna go to. I've been on strike lately. I've been offered tickets and stuff, or I even had the Dodger ticket and didn't go, which I'm thankful I didn't go compared to how they played.
Yeah, you've been on strike so much lately. I thought you were like a bagger at a grocery store.
Yeah, exactly. There are yearly, like the grocery store people, yearly strikes.
Yeah.
I need to bring a paper bag next time I go, man. I don't know about you, but I need to go with a
bags are free here.
Yeah, see, 10 cents here, man.
Hey, I'd rather pay 10 cents for a bag that doesn't rip on the way to the car, though. That was the thing. Like, you forget about like how cheap and flimsy the free bags are. Honestly, like I'd rather just pay the 10 cents for a bag that I can use for the next like 6 years for things around the house.
Does that go for plastic bags over there too? Do those rip over there too?
That's what I'm talking about.
The
plastic bag.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the paper bags too. I was like, damn, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah, and anyone in California who complains, New Jersey, you have so they don't do plastic bags there either. But like they don't do plastic bags there at all.
Oh.
Like there's no 10 cents there. You have to buy a reusable bag there if you're gonna get a bag. That is it. You have to buy the reusable bag. And they're like, 50 cents to $1.
Damn.
So, yeah.
I thought we were bad here because that was the excuse. It's like, oh, we're only going to do this for a little while. Now it's like customary. Every time I go to the grocery store, I'm like, so when are you guys ending this 10-cent bag thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because before it's like, it's just temporary.
Yeah. No, yeah. I worked at Petco at the time as a dog trainer, and I had to like do cashier every so often. So yeah, I remember when the rollout came out, like, oh yeah, we're only using these bags now.
Let me ask you this, bro. Real quick question, since we're talking bags.
Okay.
Let's just say, when the Mets came in, they took over that whole trout farm area.
Yep.
What if we invoked our powers here at Halos in the Infield and we had all our fans or most of our fans come over there with just, white shirts and paper bags, like the Heedy network or whatever, or even if they didn't, even if they just came with all paper bags in that section.
You want to know what would be even better?
What happened?
You wait until the king himself, not John Stamos, the secondary king, Roger Lodge, is going to host a Halo poop night. I don't know what they call it these days.
Halo poop night?
Yeah, Halo Hog Night. And you wait for that, okay?
Okay.
You get as many people to go to that game, even if it's like 50 to 100, somewhere in that zone. You go up there, you sit in the nosebleeds next to him in the 800 section where I used to sit in my blimp. And you all wear paper bags next to Roger Lodge Halo Honk section. Now that is how you send a message because they're going to get on the screen.
Oh, that's true.
You can go up and talk to Roger with your bag, and he wouldn't know it's you.
Hey, Roger. We all start talking to him like that. What's up, Roger? It's me, Roger. Hey, Roger. It's Roger.
Hey, Roger. We have one guy dressed up as Mr. Rogers. He's like, I'm just Roger.
Yeah. Dude, I want to do that because I would feel like if we came with so many paper bags, I think the ushers would try to usher us out, man. I mean, I don't know if they'd let us stay there that long, you know? I think they would have a problem with that. Or we could do a ride your bike to Anaheim Stadium night, you know, ride down Catella.
I'm with Rhett Bollinger. You can't kick me out.
Yeah. I mean, this I don't know, bro. I don't know how else you can send a message, man. I like that blind date idea. It's just getting enough people to go in and do it because our fan base, for whatever reason, I mean, if the Dodgers were in the state, they'd do it. Any other team you see that would do it. Our fan base, for some reason, thinks it's sacrilegious to boo this team.
Well, and here's the thing, because all the fair weather fans, the bandwagon fans are off the bandwagon already.
Yep.
So right now it's just all the hardcore fans. So you get the people who A, just think it's unnecessary, B, who think that, you know, oh, well, we're not that bad, right? We're the Angels, you know, we have a storied past. Which to that I say, do we really?
Yeah.
We have one World Series. We've made 9 divisions?
Something
8?
like that. Yeah.
It's between 8 and it's not double digits yet. So it's like 8 or 9. But, you know, okay, you know, Gene Autry was a great owner. You know, he was a great person. Everybody seemed to like him.
Mm-hmm.
But was he a winner?
It was a lot harder for him, but he did have a few winning seasons, but not really.
I'm looking up the division title thing. Yeah, I mean, they didn't win till the 80s, their first division title?
Well,
by the way, they have 9. I think that's what I said.
They had 79, 82, and 86 with Autry. So you had 3 years out of the whole time, but that's in a time period where the league didn't have wild cards.
Yeah.
You had I think 9 teams in one division or something like that, 8 teams in one division. So it was a lot harder. But yeah, I mean, it's to see where the team has gone culture wise. It's you can't just some people can say in New York, you know, when they had their ownership before Cohen's, fire them ownership. I wish the ownership would sell or this and that, and you're kind of going overboard. But with the Angels, it's there's so many things that we've talked about that's been off the field that have been sketchy, you know, and then the tragedies that have happened. The way this team is run, the way they're financed, the way they're cheap, the way that they're looked at by other organizations as not being a top-notch organization. Like you said, our fans hold this team to a real high standard after only having one World Series, like you said, and only 9 titles in how many years of existence now? Over 60?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, maybe we just have an unrealistic expectation for this team. And I think the biggest reason for that, obviously the success we had in the beginning of the Artie Moreno era. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily accredit him with everything.
Yeah.
You know, the difference was back then, I feel like he was making, or at least letting baseball people make those decisions. Yeah. There was some good baseball moves being made. And then around 2012, something shifted. Mm-hmm. It went to, let's just get these big names. We got Pujols, you know, then we got Hamilton, C.J. Wilson. There was these big moves being made, you know, and even the Jared Weaver move was a big move. Granted, that one more or less paid off, you know, wasn't the last 2 years, Jared Weaver wasn't the same pitcher, but I could live with that. Mm-hmm. I can live with the last 2 years not being that great. That's fine. That happens. What I can live with is Anthony Rendon underperforming for his first 3 years of his contract. This is his prime, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to be roughly 33 at the start of the next season. You know what happens when you turn 33, Todd?
You start going backwards.
You really, really start going backwards. Mm-hmm. It seems like the generic prime for a male, especially a healthy male, is between 27 to 28. and 32, somewhere in that range, 32, and then around 33, it really starts to go down, and you start to decline pretty quickly after that. That's when you really need to start taking your vitamins because, no offense to you, I'm sure you're now at the age where, you're having to take a lot of vitamins that you didn't have to take before, right? Because your body doesn't produce the same way it did when you were 20 years old. And that's nothing against your body. That's just how it is.
Yeah, things hurt more.
Exactly. You wake up more sore every day. I mean, I feel more sore today than I did when I was 18.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. That's what's naturally happening. And we're already at this stage with Anthony Rendon where we're begging him for 100 games.
Mm-hmm. And that's sad. I mean, this is supposed to be a guy where like fringe MVP type skill.
Yep,
and we're just looking for him to hit 20 homers and 60 RBIs right now.
Yeah, right. I'm looking for him to give me more games than Velasquez.
Oh, yeah. I mean, anybody. I mean, I would love for Rally Chris to have more games than Velasquez at this point. But I mean,
Randy.
Yeah, exactly. But but getting back to where this team is, and you remember how they always show the highlight of Mike Trout and saying, all these teams passed on him, and the Angels got him in the first round, and what a great move, and what a great find. You can go back seasons before that, seasons after that, and mainly seasons after that. Like, for all the praise that this organization gets for finding Trout and realizing that talent, they didn't really do that with Ohtani because he was already an established player. They just got him to come here.
Yeah.
But how many guys, and this is a reason why our farm system is ranked 29th, how many guys have we just overlooked and we've seen go to Toronto? We've seen go to Baltimore. Other teams that who have had better records than us, and we're drafting higher than they are. And they're just getting stud player after stud player because they do their homework and they have the correct scouts and the guys that they're looking for that fit their organization. And we don't have a way of doing things, and we don't have the right scouts. And it's really frustrating to see the Brewers and all these other teams that can continually win. The Cardinals just draft good player after good player, and you're like, man, where did this guy come from? Oh, he came from their farm system. And it's like, well, I'm waiting for our guy to come through the farm system like another Mike Trout or another player like that. We're not seeing that. And I see it with every other team. And so when you're talking about the Angels trying to make these big splashes like they did to try to keep up with the Dodgers, and they're maybe doing it on the major league level, but that can only last so long. Your farm system's getting depleted.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have I said that we're just in a different era of baseball? You can't buy rings anymore. You can't just buy free agents. You need to truly grow from the bottom up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been noted multiple times. The Angels do not take care of their minor leaguers compared to other organizations.
Mm-hmm.
They meet the bare minimum now. We need to offer 2 twin beds in a small room. Great. That is what we're doing. The Angels were one of the last teams to provide 2 meals a day for minor leaguers. 2 meals. There's public schools that provide 2 meals a day off of government assistance. So what I'm saying here is how come, there's other kids here who, get free meals from the government. And that's not a political party thing. I just always really how it has been, for the last 15, 20 years. Yet minor leaguers in the Angels organization didn't start getting 2 meals till last year because Kieran Lovegrove decided to say something. And you still got people like Rob Manfred, and you still got people who follow our page, one of which you're close with and you go to games with all the time. And because I know him, because I respect him, I will not put him on blast. But there is a lot of people who are like, oh, well, who cares, right? Hey, the opportunity. Well, guess what? When you lose your job, whoever you are, up and down, the followers list, or up and down people who just casually pass our page, who, just think, hey, it's all about the opportunity. I'll make sure to remind you when you're scrounging to pay your bills, hey, you had an opportunity. Why? Because a lot of these kids come out of high school. A lot of these kids maybe don't finish their college education, which may or may not be intelligent, but obviously for a lot of these guys, it doesn't pan out. And now they're stuck in a situation where they did not accomplish their goals. They did not make a livable wage. They don't have job experience, and now they're 24 or 25 years old. What are they going to do? They just finished high school. And here's the thing. You don't need to go to college to be successful. I'm happy with where I am in my life. I decided not to go to college. I had my dream job. I did all that stuff already. Now I'm, pursuing I have my family and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying there is, I'm 27 years old. I got to accomplish my dream job. I bought my first house. I did all this stuff, but I started off early. Could you imagine like being 27 years old? You got drafted out of high school. You stuck with an organization. Now you got DFA'd about 2 or 3 times, and you're like, you know what? It's time for me and my wife to settle down and have kids. I'm going to retire from baseball. Oh, I have no job experience. All I have is a high school diploma. They're not going to hire me. I'm 27, have no job experience. The other people who are my age went to college. The other people my age have worked at whatever, Wendy's for 8 years. The point is they have job experience, you don't. That's just my whole way of saying that this organization does not take care of their players. If you take care of your players and you give them an excuse to have clean clothes, have food, they're going to produce for you on the field. Look at the Dodgers. I hate that organization, but you know what? They're a winning organization. Maybe not in terms of World Series rings lately, but they make the playoffs every year. You mean to tell me that you wouldn't kill right now to make the playoffs every year, Todd, and lose?
I would love it. I mean, again, I could see where the Dodger fans are cocky, and that's the thing I'm jealous of too. I mean, they know that, okay, we can have a pretty shitty April or May. We know we're going to make the postseason, and that's what happens. They make the postseason, and like you said, you can go to football too, and you can look at that. The best teams that consistently win, even with a salary cap era, are the ones with the best facilities, the ones that train their players the best, the ones that have the best regimens, the best workout areas, everything. Same thing with baseball, like you said. St. Louis, not the most desired city in the world, but they have a tradition. They have the best facilities. They have the best coaches staff. They treat their ball players great. The minor league system, just like you're saying, they do a good job. Those teams are the ones, like you said, giving motivation to the players and to play better, and the players want to play better to help themselves too. It's a give and take. And if you have the proper give and take within an organization, you're going to reach heights that you would not normally do. I mean, look at, like you said, the Dodgers, again, we'll use them as an excuse. Great facility, great owners, great GMs. They treat their international players good. Their scouting development's great. You really can't knock. I mean, we can hate them all we want, which I do and which you do, and they're fans mostly. But when it comes down to it, your inner Angel fandom has to be a little jealous.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm really digging deep in there. I don't think I hate the Dodgers as much as I hate their fans.
Mm-hmm.
Like if the Dodgers fans were just casual fans, like Brewers fans, and they played like in a different division, they were just called the Dodgers. I don't think I'd care. I'd be like, whatever. It's their fans that I hate. And like the thing is, there's a lot of players on the Dodgers I actually kind of like. I pull for a guy like Clayton Kershaw. I mean, did you see that video of him with the little boy who started crying because he got to meet Clayton Kershaw and his grandfather didn't get to meet him, and his dream was to meet Clayton Kershaw? And Kershaw got up and hugged him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'm not a Kershaw fan, so I wouldn't like that, but I do like Trey Turner, and there's a few other players on that team that
I consider Turner a national.
Yeah. I mean, if they were to put on the red, I would like a lot of Angel fans wouldn't want to see that, but there's a few players over there that they put on our jerseys. I would be like, okay, all right, I accept.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to win. I'm honestly over the point of I hate you or I don't. I'm trying to win. I am so over losing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Don't think that we like this team losing, because, I mean, I feel like people assume oh, well, they like losing. Don't get me wrong. When we lose, people tune in to hear Todd rant. People love when Todd gets angry. That's why people listen to the postgame. But, we like covering winning teams. We like this team. There's a reason why we cover this team for no money. We do it because, A, you guys give us an opportunity to talk about this team. You give us a voice to talk about this team. Most of you guys seem to like our takes. You think we're funny, whatever it is. But, at the end of the day, we have to cover the team unbiasedly. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat stuff. I mean, whether the team was giving us free stuff or not, whether they give us access to the field or not,
Mhm.
You know,
We would be here. Yeah, it's sort of like,
covering the team the same way.
yeah, it's sort of the same thing. Like we're very passionate when they lose, and we just haven't had the opportunity, or at least that many opportunities, to be passionate when they win.
Yep.
So like imagine how sweet it would be for them to actually be in contention in September, or to make a postseason, even if it was just to get into the first round. But we just have not had that in so long. And so I believe that when it does happen, if it's next year, the year after, or whatever, I think this fan base is going to hit a high that it hasn't hit in so long, because by that time it could be a decade.
Yeah. And at this point, it might be if real changes are not made, you know, and it really is going to start with Artie. It's going to start with the gut check. I mean, Artie, all I ever hear from people in the front office, and let me make that very clear, because I hear completely different things from, other sources that are directly involved. But all we ever hear from the front office and Roger Lodge is nobody wants to win more than Artie Moreno. That's all we ever hear. Nobody wants to win more than Artie Moreno. Artie, prove it.
Yeah.
Trade Ohtani, because at that point, I know that you want to win. Assuming it's a good trade. I mean, knowing us, we'll trade Ohtani for Tyler Wade. So, yeah. Oh, and by the way, speaking, when I said Tyler Wade, it jolted something. So you think Andrew Velasquez has played too many games this year, right?
Yeah.
You think he's gotten way too many opportunities as an Angel?
Too many, dude.
Guess how many games he's played. Give me a rough ballpark as to how many you think he's played in.
I would say 50.
He's played in 83 games.
Oh shit, that's more than I thought. Oh no.
All right. Now answer this question. Has Anthony Rendon ever played 80 games as an Angel?
I would have to say no.
He has not.
Yeah.
The most he's ever played was 58.
Wow.
So he is not even close. He's only played a combined 155 games. If Velasquez stays an Angel through the end of the year, he'll get close to the 155 number. He'll be like the 130?
Yeah, because even when he's not starting, for some reason, Nevin and Adam were like, "Hey, let's bring him in late in the game."
Exactly, and that counts. That counts. Yes. I mean, that's more of a game than Rendon's playing in right now.
It's like, oh, well, I'm not tired of the other 10 guys striking out. Let's bring in Velasquez.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't had enough yet. Let's make it worse.
That's the other thing, bro. I mean, I thought the bat was supposed to touch the ball at some point. I mean, this team is just how many. I would like to see how many times we've struck out double digits this year. I mean, it's got to be a lot.
Yeah, you get these guys an oar. I'm not even kidding, man. Forget a baseball bat. They need an oar. They need to start playing cricket at this point.
That's what I was thinking, and I think they would. I think Squid would still strike out.
No, do you know what? Squid would be like a cricket god.
You think so?
He would like bat. He would like an oar flip.
Oh, okay.
Because you can't call it a bat flip. He would stare into. I don't think they have dugouts. He would stare into the grassy area where the players are sitting in a circle and go, point at them, flip the oar, and then he would run over and knock down the little poles or whatever. I played cricket like twice.
I still don't know how that game works, dude. I just know they pitch like softball a little bit, right?
All right. So for anybody, so you go ahead and describe how you think you play cricket.
I think there's that thing where there's a stick, right? Where it's like a strike if the ball hits it, right? If you don't swing.
Yeah, I think it's that, or if you hit it like on the way back.
Oh, okay. And then,
like when you're swinging, like I don't think you can knock it down. And if you do, I think it's gonna out.
And then from there, I don't know. From there, I don't know. I just know you hit the ball. That's it.
I think you you hit the ball, and I think then you have to like run into like a circle or something, and then like run back. I think it's something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe I need to watch cricket. Maybe that's our thing. Maybe this offseason we'll cover a cricket match. I know they don't call it games.
Why don't we do the first Halos of the Infield cricket game?
There you go. There you go. Now you're on to something. Yeah, right. Sponsored by whatever.
We'll still have
Awesome.
we'll still have tacos for cricket.
Doesn't get much more Southern California than that. Inclusion of cultures.
Exactly. We'll throw some bocce in for the kids on the side.
There you go. There you go. I don't know. I don't know how else we can represent some of the other races. There'll be there'll be a cookout, and then we'll play water balloons.
There, there you go.
Water balloons with popsicles.
Water balloons, and then we'll do the egg toss.
There you go.
What is it called? The sack race?
Yeah, the sack race. Not that kind though.
Yeah, just anything but actual baseball.
Yeah, right. No baseball. No, we need to cleanse our lives of baseball this offseason.
We do.
And then and then to end it, we'll exercise the monkey. We'll put him down.
Whoa, calm down. Is that more role playing?
No, you're the one who's into bondage. That's just what I hear. That's the word on the road. No, I mean like we have to like tie the monkey down to a chair, and then we have to, I don't know, say prayers and like throw holy water and a bunch of crazy shit.
The monkey's not going to have his head spin around, just projectile everywhere. Or, no,
Maybe it'll be like a Dodger blue, or maybe it'll be like a Pittsburgh Pirates black.
Something. Yeah, it's
And
got.
that's why we suck so bad because like Artie maybe shook hands with like the Pirates owner and they like switched talent. The only difference is the Pirates didn't turn good
Yeah.
because Artie's that bad of luck.
I wouldn't doubt it, bro. I would not doubt it.
Artie's like, I feel weird. Maybe it was the Wiener Schnitzel.
It was the Del Tacos.
You think Artie's a fast food guy?
I think so. I think he's fast food during the day and very bougie wine and winery type dude in the evening.
Yeah, I feel like he's probably like a really like bad kind of fast food guy. Like I'm sure like you heard about like what like Trump's diet was with like the what's it, Pizza Hut, and he would like take off the toppings and just eat like the cheese and like the toppings.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like the kind of cat Artie is. Like he's like that kind of guy.
I believe so, because I don't know if you remember Trump too. He had the Coke machine installed in the White House. Or you just like
No, I didn't know that.
yeah, he's whenever he
Diet Coke though, right? Diet.
Yeah, it was diet. You could like fill up his cup whenever you wanted to. Sort of like a water thing, but it was a Coke thing.
Yeah, there you go. That sounds on brand for sure. I mean, that just sounds American.
Yeah, America.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, so who knows, man? I don't know what Artie's into, but I mean, we obviously know that at the last half decade, it's not winning.
Yeah, winning is definitely not his strong suit. Although, if we do anything good, though, Roger is very first to point it out that it was all Artie. So if we do anything, we go on a 10-game winning streak. Artie Moreno is the heart of this team. They feel his presence in the clubhouse and in those suites, and they just want to win for him.
Yeah, right. He talks about him like he's some kind of like, the Ave Marias playing, or he talks like he's some kind of like, guardian angel. No, we're not talking about Tyler Skaggs or Nick Aidenhart or even Luis Valbuena. We're talking about Artie frickin' Moreno.
Yep. Sprinkling his little fairy dust on the players so they can hit home runs and make catches.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for the day that like Artie Moreno, like it turns out like he was linked up to like some like multi-level marketing scheme or like a Ponzi scheme, and then he like goes to jail.
Yeah, or at least it's so embarrassing to the league that's what I was hoping this thing with Anaheim would be more prevalent. If that was actual Los Angeles, it'd be a story. The mayor resigning and everything else like that, and then Artie,
whatever, not here. We're good.
Yeah, it's like, whatever.
Do you want to be the mayor?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I heard there's a new Sonic coming to town. That gets more pub.
Do you want to be the mayor? And they're like, no, me. You can be the mayor. They point out like Gooby. He's like, I don't even live here.
I know people are like, wait, we have a mayor? Huh?
Yeah, I've always wondered how much mayors actually do. I always just thought like mayors just kind of like, go cut ribbons for movie theaters, maybe only sign like one forehead of a baby compared to like presidents that do it like all day long. And like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, maybe occasionally like say some kind of like sad speech of like, like, oh, this police officer died today. Oh, so sad. And that's like, they're off like the next 6 weeks because like too much of an emotional bit. Maybe I'm wrong.
It depends. I think it depends on the city. If you're
Yeah, that's fair.
if you're in a big city, the mayor does a lot. If you're in a small city, you don't even know who the guy was. I didn't even know who the mayor for Anaheim was until they showed him on TV, with the scandal stepping down. So
Yeah.
there's certain mayors you just don't.
I knew who he was. I wanted him to win only because I knew he was like I think he was the guy who had like the Angels logo in his thing in his campaign sign.
Oh, I didn't even know. So
Yeah, I'm like, and he didn't even like lean my political way. I mean, I'm pretty independent. I'm pretty down the center with things, but I mean, I have my biases, and obviously the Angels is my biggest one. I'm like, what? You got my vote?
yeah.
They're like, this is a really bad guy. He's done really, really bad things. I'm like, but he likes the Angels.
He's my kind of guy.
Yeah. He's in a losers too.
Yeah, there you go. Well, speaking of that, it's been an interesting show.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really talk about any of the series, but I mean, what is there to talk about? We won one game against the Royals, whoop-de-doo. It was a big game. They scored a lot of runs, and it didn't help them win the first game in the Royals series, and it probably won't help them win the rest of the series. So
Exactly. I mean, well, actually, we won the Braves. We won one against the world champs.
that's what I said. We won one game. It was like what 9-1. Is what
Oh
I
yeah,
said.
I thought you said the Royals. My bad.
Yeah, we lost today against the Royals. Is what I said. It didn't help us win today.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. My bad. So yeah, I mean, there's only 2 games left for the Royals. They
We'll
spanked.
win tomorrow. We'll win today at the time this is released because it's probably Chris's birthday.
Oh yeah, we have to win for the birthday boy. Absolutely.
The DJ party.
He'll be monkeying around tomorrow.
Here we go with this shit again.
So just check Rally Chris's page for what time you want to hear your favorite DJ on, because he's going to have several DJs on tomorrow. So
I wouldn't say favorite.
which okay, well, I've got one that I'm going to be listening to between 1 and 3.
What is it?
It's the one with he has a fox in his name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go for that one.
Todd's gonna be in his truck.
They're playing my song, bitches.
Yeah, right. They're like, why is this semi truck swerving so much? Todd's all.
Have all fishtailing on the road.
Yeah, right. It's all right. Where you drive, it's a 2-lane highway, so it really won't matter that much. There shouldn't be anybody in the shoulder, and if they are, get wrecked.
Yeah, watch out.
Yeah. Or so I'll leave you with this question then before we log out.
Okay.
But at the current rate we're at, do you legitimately think that by the time we hit September, the team will already be mathematically eliminated? Or will they kind of do what they normally do? Like, well, maybe they'll go on a little bit of a winning streak and then just kind of flirt enough to get back into the conversation and then collapse as per, the last couple of years. Or do you think it'll just be over like it is now? It's just,
I don't see any kind of spike in this team. I really don't. I think if you're not already done by August, shame on you as a fan. I mean, you got more heart than I do. September is just going to be let's just play the games out, really. I mean, the only thing I'm going to watch, I think I'll only be jazzed up to watch them in September to see what the kids can do if they have any kids that are going to perform. I mean, they're going to be mathematically dead or out of it, and they're going to be playing dead. I just don't see a winning streak out of this team. I just don't.
Yeah, I hope you're wrong for just for our sake. It'd be nice to just cover like another like week of just decent baseball. I'm killing for just like 2 or 3 solid series in a row. I'm not talking about sweeps. I'm just talking about, hey, let's win 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3. Great. And if we suck the rest of the year, I mean, that's what we were expecting anyway. But I mean, when we're talking about guys like, VR and, the Goose coming back and who is that guy Harrison or whatever, Monte Harrison?
Harrison came back. You got what do you call it? Captain Jack could be eligible to play again. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I'm just kind of tired about like this being like what we talk about.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tiring. I'm kind of over it. I've never once in my life had the thought creep into my mind of, man, I kind of want baseball season to end because baseball is all I care about. You watch football. I'm
Mhm,
going to try to force myself to watch football
mhm.
this year, but I mean, I haven't consistently watched a football season in like 10 years. And my heart just hasn't been in it anymore. I kind of watch hockey, but not enough like I care about. Like baseball is what I care about.
Yeah.
And the fact that I've even had that thought creep into my mind and we barely passed the All-Star break should tell you everything you need to know. I don't care. Like, why are you wearing paper bags? Like we still got some baseball left. Yeah, sure, we have some baseball left. But do we really, like you said, do we really have any fight left? We don't.
Yeah. And that's the most depressing thing. Like I'm already, with me not watching basketball anymore and my team sucking in football this year, I'm actually like, I'll watch football because I could watch other teams, not necessarily my own, because I know we're gonna suck. But I'm actually jazzed up for hockey. I'm like, all right, let's do it, Ducks. Let's get back to work already. If you guys can you come back already? Because at least that's a young, fun team.
Yeah, at least there's some development opportunity there.
Yeah. It's just they crapped the bed the last month of the season, but I think they're gonna be better this year. And right now, I mean, I'm like you, dude. Baseball is my favorite sport. I don't want to check out of it early, but they're forcing me out. They're forcing me to be so apathetic and just not care.
Yeah, I mean that's how I am with like my Coyotes for hockey. Like here's the thing, like they're in the middle of a rebuild, but their ownership acknowledged they're having a rebuild. I can live with that.
Yeah.
I can live with we're in the middle of a deep rebuild. We'll be good in like 5 years. Sure, that's a long period, but they're like, oh well, in 5 years we'll start making the playoffs. In the next and 5 years after that, we're hoping to win consistent Stanley Cups. I can live with that because there's a plan. You know what I mean? They're trading assets, and in hockey you can trade draft picks. You can't in baseball unless it's a compensation pick.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at least there, like the fact that they made these trades and they drafted like what was like 13 players this draft, which is crazy because of all the trades they made. And next year they have like 6 second-round picks. Like there's a plan there. I can live with the plan and I can live with sucking, knowing that there's something happening. What I hate is this constant like flux of we're trying to contend, but we're not contending. We're gonna pick 10 through 15 again. That's what I hate about the Angels. If you're gonna tank. If you're gonna try to contend, try to contend. Don't try to pick Jonathan Villar, out of the bargain bin and hope that he's gonna perform here in Anaheim. We have never, ever times infinity been the place where people come to resurrect their careers.
Mm-hmm. It's usually the latter. So
Exactly. They come here, they suck, they end up somewhere else. Some of them perform again, some of them don't.
yeah. And like I said on the other episode, it's just amazing to me the few players that have left this team, with the exception of a couple. But I mean, Iglesias, hit good before he got here, sucked last year, and look what he's doing in Colorado. There's no coincidence there, bro. I mean, this organization from top to bottom needs a rebuild, including coaching staff. So.
Well, we'll get that this offseason is my guess for sure. Not exactly a hot take, but
Yeah.
all right.
All right. Any closing remarks that you want to mention going out?
No, just hey, enjoy the rest of the season for what it is. Don't watch Angels baseball hoping we win, but hey, enjoy watching Ohtani play because I can tell you one thing, whether he gets traded or not this offseason or this trade deadline, I don't think we have very many more games of seeing Ohtani. I think he'll ride his contract out until after arbitration's over and he hits free agency, but I don't think he's going to re-sign, honestly, at the current rate. So enjoy watching him play what we can.
Yep, exactly. And if same thing with Syndergaard, his time here is limited. So
Yeah.
go Angels, and by far send in your to jazz things up. Please send in your favorite role playing costume.
Oh, please don't. Please don't.
Let us
Please
know
don't.
what you're into.
Yeah, please don't. I'm into people dressed up as Roger Lodge. I'm into John Stamos. Oh, Johnny boy, your underwear smells just like the day we lived together.
Oh,
Oh, Aunt Becky.
I can smell your hair in the wind as you ride my handlebars down Catella.
Oh, God.
Good night, everybody. All right.